Instead, we should be asking questions and communicating and guiding our clients to start to do some of that shifting on their own.
With this kind of growth versus fixed mindset, I think the way I see it is like identity, right? Like who we are as a person. Like, are we identifying as somebody who can't do XYZ or does vice versa, does XYZ? And so how do we break away from that? These people who do have a more of a fixed mindset, how can we kind of shift and mold that to help them understand that they are not necessarily tied to that identity and that can change?
Yeah, that's like the golden question, right? Like, how do we shift our clients' mindset so they can start to believe in themselves? They can start doing things that even when things get challenging, they see it as like a welcome challenge and they're wanting to figure it out with you. Like, that's like the dream scenario, right? It's not that clients are just like, absolutely 100% of the time, but it's even when they're at 50%, they're willing to talk to you about it and they want to learn and they want to grow and they want to develop and they want to do better. Like, but those are the best client relationships. So with that said, when we're talking about, like identity and mindset, I do think we're talking about different concepts when we're saying identity versus mindset. They can very much be wrapped up. For instance, like when I was saying, I'm just not the type of person. If we hear a client saying that, you might be like, ding, ding, ding. That sounds very fixed mindset, that you're seeing yourself as this type of person, feels very unchangeable. It just is the way that you are and there's nothing that you can do about it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they identify as a non-exerciser, that like I could never do those things. So again, there's just like so much nuance to all of these conversations. But when we talk about growth versus fixed mindset, what we're really looking at is mindset in general is the lens that we're taking to see the world through. It's how we're assigning meaning to things. It's how we're making sense of things. So you can see very quickly how a client with a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, that's almost anything that they're getting from you, any kind of feedback they're getting from themselves, from other people, it's all filtering through that lens. So when it comes to the question of, well, if I have this client who is showing signs of a fixed mindset, how do I get them to more of a growth mindset? And again, like the golden question, such a big question, and it can go a handful of different ways. Like we could talk about motivation. Like, are they mentioning motivation and how they have low motivation or lack of motivation, or they can't seem to stay motivated? In that example, it might be, okay, I'm noticing a fixed mindset in this client. They're mentioning motivation a lot. I should probably better understand first and foremost what they actually think motivation is. And I think that's where a lot of coaches don't go to ever, is like trying to understand what their clients even mean and what they're saying with things. And instead, it's, especially for coaches who have been doing this for a long time, it's very easy to make assumptions that you know what that client means, but everyone's going to assign different meaning to things. So even just asking them, like, can you tell me a little bit more about the lack of motivation that you're experiencing and how much of an impact you actually think that's making it for you when it comes to your health and fitness behaviors? And one client could answer this question so much different than another client. So better understanding like where they're coming from, why they're saying those things. And we really want to just kind of build awareness around why they have those beliefs in the first place and where that's coming from and unpack that with them. And honestly, sometimes that awareness can be powerful enough to already start to shift their mindset and believe things differently. Like if you're having these conversations with them and they come back and are like, yeah, I guess I believe that just because I've tried so many things in the past and nothing has worked for me before. So I'm definitely pretty just like down on myself and my abilities. But, come to think of it, we're doing things so different than I've ever done before. So I guess I can't really compare it. I mean, that would be like a beautiful way for a client to respond. But the goal is to kind of like guide them towards those realizations instead of you just like saying, oh, this is how it is. This is how you feel. This is what we need to do. And instead kind of put the client in the driver's seat. It's a big part of just behavior change coaching in general, is building that autonomy and helping our clients come up with solutions on their own, come to realizations on their own, rather than us just like pegging them with those things. So yeah, really long story short, I think the first step is helping clients recognize and guiding them towards this realization that it is their mindset, it is their beliefs. There is some of this stuff that's holding them back, or like things that they've been holding on for a really long time that would need to change in the first place before we say, here's how we're going to change your mindset. And really, the reality is, as coaches, we should not be doing the shifting. We should not be changing our clients' mindset. Instead, we should be asking questions and communicating and guiding our clients to start to do some of that shifting on their own. Like I hear examples all of the time from my students in the certification who are like, wow, look at this message. This client just came to me and said that they think that their mindset's holding them back. I didn't even have to go there. So the goal is really that they are coming up with all of that. You're building that awareness, and that's where the shifting really starts to happen.
I know one thing that I have to ask both my clients and myself a lot is when somebody says like, I don't have time for that, or, I can't do that because of XYZ, usually I ask oftentimes myself, what are you prioritizing before this, right? And sometimes I feel like that's a good way of helping people recognize like, oh, I just said I don't have time for this, but I'm actually prioritizing, scrolling on my phone for 20 minutes when I get home or doing this. Like, where are the kind of those things that are taking precedent over the thing that you want to do to reach your goals, right? And I think sometimes when people can recognize that too, from like a tangible standpoint, it can help with creating that mindset shift that like, oh wait, I do have the time or I do have the energy or whatever it may be to do that, to do the thing that you're asking me to do.
Right. Yeah. I like that perspective, and something I talk about a lot, especially with the motivation conversation, when people are, oh, you don't need motivation, you need dedication, or you need your determination, or whatever the conversation is. Ultimately, you're always motivated to do something, right? You just might not be motivated to do the thing that is actually goal supportive. You're motivated to scroll on your phone. You're motivated to watch Netflix. You're motivated to like get in your pajamas and like pour yourself a glass of wine. And like, I think it's better understanding that like, no, the motivation is there. It just might be in the wrong direction, right? So then it becomes like, what is it about that thing that makes you want to prioritize it versus the other thing? And like really getting into that
makes
too.
A lot of sense. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but if you are a health or wellness professional and you haven't yet checked out The Wellness Vault, you're missing out. The Wellness Vault is a content hub for coaches who create their own plans and programs for their clients, run workshops, create digital guides, and so much more. You can now do all of this in a fraction of the time so you can focus on your clients and grow your business faster than ever with more you time. The link to The Wellness Vault is in the show notes, so go sign up for your free trial today. Thank you for watching this short clip. To watch or listen to this episode in its entirety, view the description below. See you next time.